Washington, right across the street from the Amtrak station. We have the supplemental download for the partisan guidelines on the system submitted. Information to Andy Miller, CEO of Washington, andy.miller, CEO.BENTON, BANTON.WA. United States of America, U.S. And that's 509-735-3591. That's 509-736-3079. That's FAX. That's the registration office. Of course, that's Melissa McKnight. Administration for another 4 years. And the processing of the affidavits and also the donations, of course, at DENT, and that's the Senate office here in 13 district. Same districts as 7, 13, and 5, and so forth, those fire districts that covers the whole perimeter that's covered in the area from here all the way to Canada, all the way to Andy Miller's office. That's Newport Highway 2. And then this first office would probably be Meade District School, which is in KENNEWICK High School. Anyways, the processing from the Columbia Libraries, which is updated, is afraid of it. And administration, that's not called, of course, the administrative bailiffs and staff members that are reported at the administration office. And that's our Grand County Superior Court Law Justice Building, second floor, room 242, Third of Washington, 98823. Phone number is 509-754-2011. Fax is 509-754-6036. That's Superior Court Judge Honorable John Antes, Honorable John D. Condell, Honorable David G. Estilo, and Commissioner, and he is a consumer, Honorable Tom Middleton. He is a consumer because they do go to the pharmacy. The pharmacy is Cimaron Hospital and also CBHA. CBHA touches bases with immediate family members and also the processing of the immediate children. And the Honorable Tom Middleton is a consumer. So this is Commissioner Honorable Tom Middleton, Staff Member, Court Administrator, Deputy Court Administrator, Jury Reporter, Court Interpreter, and Lynette Henson, the Jury Coordinator, Jury Duty. And that's why I'm here. And this administration office has the Lynette Henson's jury phone number is 509-754-2011. Extension number is 4179. Now, Superior Court George N. John Unsons, Honorable John D. Condell, Honorable David G. Estilo. G as in George G. Estilo. And that's David D-A-V-I-D G S-E-S-T-U-D-I-L. Honorable John Untus, John as in John, J-O-H-N. Last is A-N-T-O-S-Z. John D. Again, last is K-N-U-D-L-L as in Dell, as in Kendall. K-N-O-D-L-L, Dell. And the Commissioner, Honorable Tom Middleton, is T-O-M-M-I-D-D-L-E-T-O-N. Staff is Crystal Burns. Court Administrator is Sharon Laughlin. Deputy Court Administrator is Lynette Jensen, as in 38 Jensen Caliber. And that's Tom Bartlett, T-O-M-B-A-R-T-U-N, Bartlett. And Jose Castillo. And don't forget Dixie Howe and Pismo Beach and of course the silver 4-door automatic Topaz Mercury parked at Pismo Beach. That's Jose Castillo. And that's, of course, Dixie Howe. And the Lynette Henson's jury is 509-754-2011. That's 4179. And I hope you keep it real out there. You just got, since you got burnt down here on the main street here, right on Berries. Now, Superior Court Judge has the discrepancy on the 24th Century Department of Justice Appropriate Authorized Act, published 107-273, assaults, threats, other offenses against federal judges and other certain federal court officers and employees. Published number is L107-273, Division C, which is on C Street in Prairie, Washington, which is zip code is 98823, and that phone number is 754-2011. With extension, fax is 509-754-6370. This Grand County Superior Court Law Justice Building, and that's second floor where you pick up your training, subpoena, and also you serve it by hand, and the process for mileage and district, inter-district is filed there for that amount of $75. Now, the assaults and threats and other offensive federal judges of certain federal officers, that's andy.miller.co, Ben Watson, and that's on 180 apps, and including all international and American channels are plain English and their foreign relations with the translators next to it. Now, this short time title section is cited as Federal Jurisdiction Protection Act of 2001, September 9th. Now, its short-term section, remembered the Federal Jury Protection Act of 2002, B through T, B as in boy, D as in dog, omitted. Number E, amendment of sentencing guidelines for assaults and threats against federal judges and certain of federal officials and employees in general. Pursuit of authority under Section 994, Title 28, United States Code, United States Sentencing Commission shall review and amend federal sentencing guidelines and policy statements commission and appropriate and prove and provide affidavit and proper amendment on the propaganda and other assessments is all included appropriate sentencing actions on offense involving influences, assaulting, resisting, amending, retaliating against, threatening federal judges, administrative judge, and official described Section 111 or 115 or Title 18 United States Code. That's two factors for consideration carrying out Section United States Sentencing Commission shall consider which respective offense describes in paragraph. Number 1, illustrate A as in any expression of congressional intent regarding appropriate penalties for the offense. Number B, the range of conduct covered by offenses. Number C, existing sentences for the offenses around C Street. Now D, the extent to which the extent enhancements with the federal sentencing guidelines and also within the Federal Prosecuting Administrative Bar Association with all bar associations, including all the authority in the federal court imposing sentences in excess of guidelines range and an adequate insurance punishment near the minimum penalty for, and all the judges know that before you become an e-judge because you're a prosecutor. The administration range and punishment near the maximum penalty for the great and grievous conducts and the maximum covered by any of these offenses. Number E, the extent to which the federal sentencing guidelines since the offense have been considered in statutory maximum penalties. Number F, as in Foxtrot, the extent to which these federal sentencing guidelines for offense and adequate achieve the purpose of sentence in the set forth Section 3553A2, Title 18 United States Code. Number G, as in go-go dancer, and this is the relationship of federal sentencing guidelines for the offense of federal sentence guidelines for other offense and comparable seriousness of a Libra. Any scorpion will come around this vicinity will be disavowed and exposed to the community itself. And this is number H, is in hydro. And this is the factor the commission considers appropriate final heat. Final heat, hydro heat in Columbia River. Now, the crimes of violence and drug and trafficking crimes in which the defendant using body armor, falsifying the opposed officer, carrying body armor, weapons, and considered is 107273, Division C at C Street, Greater Washington, Title 1, 11009, AD, November 2nd, 2002, 116, Stat 1819. This is a short title. Section may be cited as James Glove Chris McCurley Body Armor Act of 2002. Barbara Otis and also administration officer will be considered consider the factors with the extent of guidelines that may be accounted for and potential action also resulting from the offense level of sophisticated planning involving a plan of the plot, premeditated murder, and public inside a public site, extorting and prosecuting and fraudulence, of course, and imposing as Homeland Security Act of 2000, posing as a cybersecurity enhancement, and also carrying computer crimes on the assessment of faults of identity and process of voice activation, face ignition, and also the counterparts of reading and writing all federal judges, chief judges, purpose of all 9 seats. Now, the State Defense Commission review in the amended federal SINGH guidelines and policy statement says Mr. Wildcrest for the golden stripes on each arm, NATO admiral and generals. These processing for the violence of crimes, which is not called a defined section in 16 nations here in Title 18 United States Code for drug trafficking and crime defines, which is a 924C. These are for blood, urine, and that's tossed out. It is only blood and hair samples. And that can be tossed out of the court once it's processed and put into your lethal injection vein. You'll get lethal injection, of course. You'll be dead in seconds. And this is a proper for blood and hair follicle for siblings and offspring, and also your true blood, negative or positive, and A or B. This is true in crime and violence. This is defend of self-defense action, or doesn't apply because of the 16 Title 18 United States Code. Even in the drug trafficking and the crime defense, Section 1940 Title 18 United States Code includes crimes and violence and drug trafficking crimes and provides enhancement committed and used in deadly force, intimidating, brandishing a weapon, beating up your wife, beating up your children, soliciting, processing, contributing open container, closed containers, any open bags, carrying bags as a badge uniform, you're soliciting drug and drug trafficking and using the system and district and superior, admissible, and open public and driving intoxication, knowing the fact that you're on duty and processing and you're using the system. Alcohol's in your system to override and process your and the tattoo patterns and off tattoo patterns to make sure and disbarment for missing limbs or whatnot, and also the missing processing as false information on propaganda and credibility as the standard is official. This is the extent for which have been violated privacy rights and been harmed in many ways, age 1 to 18. Whether these involve in selective services or computer use of U.S. government for their national defense and Social Security Office. Any Social Security Office has national security and NASA and a swiping process to run your Social Security number and FBI number in a state, any computer system, which is Mr. and Mrs. Vasquez, and that's the processing in that database that is received and used. And 5K 2.20 amended striking A. Insert. Once you're inserted, you accept a defendant is convicted as offense under Section 212, and that's a big 1201 involving minors. Offenses in Section 151, offenses under Chapter 71, 109A, 110, 117, Title 18 United States Code. Section 5H1.6, amendment inserting after the sense of following in the sense of using the minors and recruiting and Puerto Rico and racketeering and so forth. The Edward Schwarzenegger is disbarred and he is AWOL. Peter Gotti is AWOL. And the Florencia Gaza University only belongs against Eddie that belongs to BARELA. And that's a spaghetti striking force that goes into the digestive system, into the mucous membrane, into the locus tube. And it goes into the esophagus, into your red white cells. So that blood sample is very important. And also the urine is tossed out. So when you're asked for your blood, you're immediately tossed out of the courtroom and processed and considered in your appeal process, which you have 90 days. That day of the conviction done, gavel down, gavel up, and also the pretrial filing numbers, what have you. Whatever credibility, you get that citation, you get a ticket. Because you have no traffic violation, no propaganda, no murder cases, no fighting cases, and no background check if sociability or jury duty. With murder cases or drug trafficking or pornographic activities with minors or processing or what have you, with drinking and driving and DW reckless driving. And also the MAD program, women will probably be on your back for the duration. Your life will never be the same ever again. And this is a reform guideline governing acceptance of responsibility. And that's a law ordinance that's omitted through C through F. That's subject to subjection J, the guideline manual permanent sentence, connection pursued at 994A, Title 28, United States Code, United States, America, andy.miller.co, Benton, Washington, U.S. And that's 509-735-3511. Now we got 805, and that's the Math 300, and the processing has a affidavit on it, and it's always online, and as you can tell, it's working. And it's been working. It's just a lot of footwork that has to be calculated and put down on the audit system. As you can see, Mrs. Melissa McKnight, is a material witness. She's quite the individual, and her secretary and staff members also upstairs and downstairs that moderate the systems for the processing for the affidavit, and that is Human Resources that escorted me to the restroom that day with the Ephrata Police Department. So the Ephrata Police Department has a good and firm hold administration documentation. State Patrol has a firm hold documentation on December 2nd and 3rd of the fall and the rise of course, the liquor shipment that is the hazmat of liquor hammer mill called Queensgate, and Queensgate Estates, a billionaire sector, Richland, Washington. That's Patrick Mountain. Of course, that's andy.miller.co, Washington, and that's U.S., and that's 509-735-3591. That's AJMER, SINGH here. And that's the processing and flooring, and also the material, and also the United States government material that's on the truck. And that's the updated system that's been pretty much activated. And that's derivatives on curves and differentials and equations, which was your main question. We missed a lot of incorporate, and also a lot of reading, writing, comprehension, negative, positive, multiplication, division, scientific notion, derivative, and also the derivative, which gives you the slope at any point of line of what it is. That means you didn't pass your test in your reading and writing, and also your creativity and artistic abilities with the engineering is what it is, and it's a what it is a tangent line, and also the secant line, and they needed to have some more processing where at that quarter where they didn't give you the efficiency of misusing or abusing you and using you as a system as your $56,000 a year at Gonzaga, or your $500,000 a year over at the Harvard University, and they're using you as a tool. They're going to just put you in the process here, so you probably need to just come and have that tutor have that submittal and sit there. Living arrangement, you probably sit a little closer or also away from distraction. As you can see, your Notre Dame is caught on fire as well. I was afraid of washing here on the street of berries. The processing here, that's the UCLA was flooded out as well, and also the Notre Dame statue was stricken with lightning. And then they caught it on fire. So White House is on fire, Gonzaga was on fire, and Yogi Berra still undefeated. He has the baseball bat, the baseball bat, the black baseball bat and armor, and also the soccer ball goalie. You have a goal. So the assessment has pretty much property values going up, and the children, and also assessments and the processing for their malnutrition has been fulfilled. Now the what you have on the derivatives for the y-axis to ANCRSS. So if you get a slope on a tangent line, or a slope of negative, positive, negative, the sector would be quadrant 1, 2, 3, or 4. That process has, you probably gives no shortcuts. You need to show your work, and if you show your work, you probably locate the situation. But this is basically a secant line. You can never lose on the y-axis or the xy-axis, especially if it's on it. And it will hunt you, actually. It will bite you right in the butt, just like any canine dog that you malnutrition or maltreat or hit because you're under influence of alcohol at the same time, violating and humping yourself out of a hole. And all the children are witnessing it and making views on the Google assessments for their tutor and nutrition for their reading and writing skills, which is what reflects what I see and what I hear and what they negotiate with. It's pretty much called torturing your children. They're reaching out for something as in bettering themselves, and they're getting positioned, and you guys are pulling them out of situations and you're retaliating. There's nothing you can do about it because you're going to lose. You're outnumbered, basically. So this derivative is a x and y axis, and the secant line is a slope for the aviation compass. It's a compass. It's a bearing location. And this is a necessity tool you probably need because you brush up on your children because they love drawing. You're fired.